Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are in this big, lovely world of ours. Hello to you. It's Braun Moxley. It's Wednesday night. A couple stories for you guys tonight. One actually comes locally in my area. It's 2 counties away from me, and I seen it on the local news. And I went and grabbed the video from the local news station. And what I plan on doing is we'll watch that video. And the girl that speaks in this interview on the news, it is her sister that is missing. Hello, Ween, Melissa, Carol, Sally. Hello. Just say hello to everyone. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my phone on so I can see your comments. I'm going to play you guys this video. Now, this is close to me. Like I said, this is just 2 counties away. The girl went missing. Apparently, she just said she was going to step outside for a minute. It was around 7:30 at night. And she just never came back in. So 7:30 at night. They're not really sure what happened to her. I have reached out to the sister to see if she would. Yeah, I'm running a little bit late tonight. Sometimes that's going to happen. Hello, Casey. How are you tonight? It's me. Hello. Dan, Dodie, Nana, Carol. Again, Carol. Melissa. Hello, Wayne. Holla back. Holler if you hear me. Hello, B. Shelligan. I seen you earlier on a live. What happened? Something like a squeal came in, and it was just odd. But I seen that. But anyways, this video is, I think this screams CTE. I don't know what that means. Doing good, Casey. Thank you. I don't know what this screams CTE means. Can you elaborate on that so I will know what you are talking about? I'm a little bit lost. Smoking my Marlboros. I seen the live over on Zavgirl. I was watching a part of it. No, I don't know what CTE is. Just help me out here. I don't keep up with the CTE is the brain disease that NFL players get from repeated head injuries. Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Well, thank you. It's me. So let me see what it said again. All right. So anyways, yeah, we're going to go over that story about the Rowan Baxter. He said he set the car on fire. All 3 of his children were inside. His wife also died. She died about a day later. Witnesses on the scene that seen it happen said that skin was just rolling off of her body, that it was horrific. Yeah, I seen that, Angelina. I actually was going to watch it again because I just joined it kind of in the middle. Yes, this happened in Brisbane. And then he, after he set them all on fire, he stabbed himself in the chest, and he passed away too. So it was a quadruple murder and then a suicide. But before we go over that, I want to show you a video, and this is of a girl that's local in my area. She's just a couple of counties away. It's not getting much coverage, and where it's local to me, I'd like to at least get it out there. So listen to the story that this lady tells of her sister. All right, so I'm going to show this now.
A Scott County mother of 3 is missing. Sheena Baxter disappeared Friday from her sister's home.
WKYT's Jim Stratman sat down with her sister, who is asking for any help in finding Sheena. It's our top story at 4.
It was 7:30 Friday night. It was still kind of light out at that time. It wasn't completely dark. Someone had to see something.
And Krista Crumley is asking for anyone who did see something to speak up. Her sister, Sheena Baxter, was last seen Friday night.
She planned on meeting her boyfriend. And, we didn't think nothing about it because Sheena takes her bag everywhere. So when she went out, we just assumed maybe she did leave with him right then and there. He might have just came on by. When he called and let us know that he didn't, and he wanted to know where she was. We went outside, her bag and everything's still there. I mean, it's been since Friday. This is Tuesday. It's not like her. She's got 3 girls. It's not fair to them. I want answers. I mean, if anybody knows, just say something. I don't even care what the reason is. Just say something, because we have nothing.
Crumley said a friend who works with the search and rescue group Texas EquiSearch reached out and offered the organization's help in this case. Spokesperson Dave Waiter said that they have been contacted and they're ready to go. They're just waiting on law enforcement to tell them if they're needed and where to start searching. Now, if that name sounds familiar, this is the same group that was involved in the search for Savannah Spurlock in 2019.
I want more help. I know we need more help because we don't even have no clues.
Crumley filed a missing persons report on Sunday with the Scott County Sheriff's Department. A deputy confirmed that they did receive the report and they're actively investigating. In Scott County, Jim Stratman, WKYT.
So I'm going to see if this video is a later update than what we just watched. It might be an update on it. We'll check and see. And the reason I didn't say hello to you, Angelina, I was watching on my TV, so I can't type in live chat when I watch on my TV.
Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Mr. Crumley told me that the last place she saw her sister Sheena Baxter was right here, just outside the mobile home where Crumley lives. Baxter said she was going to step outside and put a few things in the car, and she never came back in.
It was 7:30 Friday night. It was still kind of light out at that time. It wasn't completely dark. Someone had to see something. I want more help. I know we need more help because we don't even have no clues.
Crumley says her sister was waiting on her boyfriend to pick her up that night, so when she didn't come back inside, she wasn't surprised.
So when she went out, we just assumed maybe she did leave with him right then and there. He might have just came on.
All right, so that's just a local story that's going on in my area. It's not really being covered except on the live news or the local news, and I just wanted to put that out there. The girl that was interviewed there, her name is Krista Crumley. I've reached out to her on Facebook and through Facebook Messenger. She hasn't read my message yet, but in the comments that I left on her Facebook page, a third party, I'm not sure who it is, asked me if she had messaged me back on Facebook Messenger, and I told them no, and she said that she would be able to get a hold of them for me, and hopefully she can get back to me and maybe we can speak to her on a live. Now, the main story I wanted to cover tonight is the Baxter family. Carol, it's 2 counties away from me, about 45 miles is where this lady's missing from. I seen a picture of her. She's really a slim, brown hair, just a really pretty girl. I think she's 31 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the main story I wanted to cover with you guys tonight was the Baxter family from Brisbane. Rowan was the father. Hannah was the mother. They were going through a separation. Her car was parked down the street and on the street from her mother's house. She had been staying there during the separation. I live about 2 hours from Bowling Green, Nashville. I live in Richmond, Kentucky. The car was parked down the street. She was getting the kids in the car to take the kids to school. The estranged husband, the father of the 3 children, showed up, jumped in the car. He doused the car with gasoline and set the car on fire. All 3 of the children died in the fire in the car, and the mother was able to get out. However, she died a day later. She had just horrific burns to her body. People that were on the scene, they said her skin was just rolling off of her hands, and they said the agony on her face was apparent, that you could tell she was just in complete, utter agony from these burns. So I have a little video on that too, how a man could set his 3 kids on fire. And then also, just so you know, the father who did this, hello Marge, or Marg, however you pronounce it, the father and the husband, the estranged husband that done this, he then took a knife and stabbed himself in the chest, and he died also. So the mother died about a day later. The 3 kids died then in the fire, and he died from a stab wound to his chest, self-inflicted. So with that backstory told to you guys, this will give you a little idea of what, when you watch it, you'll be a little bit more caught up. Yeah, Mikey, it's a YouTube thing. Everybody's having trouble getting notifications everywhere. So it's not just you. All right. Hello, Mark. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Dawn. How are you tonight? Yeah, the mother was aware of everything that was going on. She knew that her babies were on fire, and how a father could do this to his 3 children is just unimaginable. I just don't understand what the hell is wrong with people anymore. So I'm going to play this video for you guys, and I will be able to see your comments. I'll be watching on my phone, so I'll be looking down. I'm not asleep like some people say. I'm just watching my phone. So we'll play this. We started back at the beginning. Carol, after it's over, I'll go back and replay it and read it read it for you. We'll watch till the end. Then I'll go back and read it for you. Okay, not a problem, guys. I'll read it when it's done here. Yeah, I've seen that, Don. Don Break. He actually stopped people from trying to save his children. I'll go ahead and start from the beginning and read it, and I might have to pause it. Okay, so it says, Rowan Baxter regularly posted on Facebook how much he loved his 3 children. Now the ex-NRL star who played for the New Zealand Warriors is alleged to have jumped into and torched his estranged wife's car with his 3 children inside before stabbing himself to death in what police have labeled a horrific scene. Now it's just showing pictures of the family. It says Leah was 6. Leanna, I believe is how it's pronounced, was 4. And Trey was 3. They have all died, police have confirmed. Showing a picture of the car on fire. Hannah Baxter, who was parked down the road from her parents' home, had been preparing to take her children to school. And there's a picture of the car on fire. Witnesses saw her leap out of the vehicle screaming, "He's poured petrol on me," Australia's Daily Telegraph reports. And showing a picture of him in his NRL uniform. A neighbor told the Courier Mail a man rushed across the road to assist her with a hose and a bucket of water because he had been washing his car. I agree, Wayne Fain, completely. Yeah, it's just showing pictures now of the car after it's been put out. It's just charred. They've got some kind of tarp trying to cover it, and the police are looking at it. It's a Kia. I'm not sure. It's some sort of Kia SUV. Miss Baxter was taken to a hospital after suffering significant burns. She too has passed away. It says, read more related articles. Ex-rugby league star Rowan Baxter and 3 children die in a car fire tragedy. Sonny Bill Williams, back for Toronto, but threadbare. Okay, I think this is just something. This is nothing relevant to the. It's just some sort of information below a picture showing Rowan, the father, and his 3 children with him. It's showing people putting flowers down, teddy bears, making a sort of memorial. And it says Queensland Police Detective Mark Thompson said that They were presented with a horrific scene. That's still showing people putting teddy bears. It says a witness, Aaron Snell, claims that after lighting the car on fire, Baxter was on the opposite side of the road before returning to his car to retrieve a knife in which he stabbed himself in the chest. There's a picture of him with the wrestler, The Undertaker. I seen that, and that caught my attention where I'm a wrestling fan. Wayne, I agree with you completely. Being burned to death or drowned are two of my worst fears also. Those would both have to be very scary deaths. So here it's showing him with a picture of him with The Undertaker, who's a very popular WWE wrestler. It says Mr. Snell also alleges a severely injured Baxter attempted to protest members of the public who had arrived at the scene, attempting to help his children in his final moments. So people that were showing up to the scene, trying to help the children, trying to get them out, the father actually stopped them from helping them. He was so angry and just going absolutely crazy. He is quoted as saying, it appeared, well, I missed that. It appeared like he wanted it to burn. Well, that's an obvious statement because he set the fire. The Courier Mail reports that Baxter was in a custody dispute with his wife. It says in recent months, following the breakdown of his marriage, Baxter posted updates regarding his children on Facebook. Good night, my beautiful babies. Daddy loves you all very much. He said on December 30th, I miss you all. Always in my heart, read another post on January 1st. On January 6th, he posted a video labeling them #MyWorld. Jared, on January 10th, he declared, good night, my babies. Daddy loves you. Just 6 ago, he posted, TREY, love you to the moon and back, #Daddy. In February of 2019, prior to their breakup, Baxter had posted a status regarding his wife declaring, hard to believe we have had 3 children in only 5 of those years. Hello, Crystal. Love you to the moon and back, #MyWorld. Detective Inspector Thompson told reporters at the scene on arrival, police and emergency services have identified 5 people that were involved in the fire inside the vehicle. I can confirm that we have 3 deceased children under the age of 10 in the vehicle. We have another deceased adult male who was known to the children, and we also have a victim suffering extensive injuries that are also known to the children and the adult male. Okay, so that would be the husband and father, Rowan, and the wife and mother, Hannah Baxter. He added, "It will be a horrific thing for emergency services, police, fire, and ambulance to deal with in the coming days," he said, probably for the rest of their lives. So seeing something like that. I've seen some horrific scenes, and this is up there. Following his rugby league career, Baxter became a fitness coach in Brisbane, working with AFL and Super Rugby clubs in Australia before he founded a CrossFit gym with his wife. The Integrate Fit website says Rowan is a recognized sportsman, is one of the top fitness coaches in Brisbane. He has over 20 years of experience in sports and fitness industry, starting off as an NRL player for the NZ Warriors team and then coaching other people. As an experienced coach, Rowan has successfully trained many clients with different fitness levels, from beginners helping them achieve weight loss and improve strength, to working with NRL, Super 15 rugby, and AFL teams around Australia, introducing them to functional body weight training. Hello, Eyes Are Blue. Hello, Elysian. A friend, Joey Abraham, told the Daily Mail Australia, Rowan was in a real bad place there for a bit because of the separation. If you knew Rowan when he was at his best and to see him like last week, then you know how far he'd fallen. Hello, Miss Texas. How are you? He was just a shadow of the person he used to be. It's just unbelievable that he could do this. They were beautiful kids. They were a beautiful family. Police investigations are ongoing. Okay. All right, so that's a video of the family, pictures, and just describing what happened, and pretty much how he used to be to what he is now. Wow, unbelievable. As a father, I don't know how I should label myself. I'm single, and I am a father. So to me, that would add up that I'm a single father, whether my daughter lives with me full time or not, and my son does, and I'm a single father. And going through a divorce where there was children involved, I could not imagine doing this. Someone has to be in a state of mind where they absolutely do not know what they're doing, or they are just oblivious to anything anymore, in my opinion, because I just don't see how in the world a man that's fighting for custody of his children. I mean, this right here proves to the judge in the world that he should never have custody or probably even visitation or anything. Move on with your life. You're a good looking guy. You're in great shape. You've got a gym, you've got 3 beautiful kids. Move on. You will find someone else. I just don't understand this whatsoever. So it has to be something. And I'm going to go real quick. I won't be able to see your comments from it. I'm going to see if they still have the website up for their business, Integrate. And I know it was spelled with the 8. And see if they still have their website up or if it's been taken down. If it is, we'll look at it. I think this is it. So hold on, I'll share the screen with you so you guys can see this website. Okay, so here's the website. It's Integrate, and it uses the letter 8 at the end. Functional training, home, about, membership, free 7-day trial, CrossFit schedule. So I mean, they had it a great business. Yeah, that's him right there, Rowan Baxter. So this is the website. They've got this business. They've got 3 beautiful children. Their marriage has broken down. Okay, Miss Texas, if she'd like to do that, just let me know. Some of his videos show him smacking kids down with a ball, then laughing hysterically. I haven't seen those videos, but I'll try to find them. Fantasy X33. Thank you for telling me that. So obviously, they've got a very nice gym. Lawless Lane. That's a very good question and a good point. Let me get back to that because I want to bring that up on the screen. It makes me wonder if any drugs were in play here, steroids. The reason I like that, not like that statement, but believe that statement could be very true, is because what happened with the Chris Benoit, the wrestler. He had CTE and also steroids were involved. His child had some sort of growth disorder, the child that he murdered. Hello, Lara, how are you? And they believe after the death with the autopsy and seeing the ejection marks on Chris Benoit's son, they believe that he had been injecting his kid with steroids, human growth hormone. He was also, he was ripped, just huge. Wasn't very tall, but he was muscular. Obviously steroids, and he murdered his wife, his child, and then took his own life. And they believe that was roid rage. For a few days before that happened, he was sending out just text messages that were rambling, that didn't even have, people didn't understand. So people started getting concerned. People started calling. Then they did a welfare check where they discovered the family dead. The lady that brought up the thing about the steroids, that's a very good point, because that's what played a role in the Chris Benoit tragedy. And it could be linked. I mean, I'm sitting here speechless because a man who was battling for custody of his children murders them by setting them on fire inside a car, and he's watching them burn to death. He's watching his wife burn to death. You know, the woman he's married to, the woman he loves, the woman he's supposed to protect. It reminds me of the district attorney in the Watts case when he said the one man in the world who's supposed to protect the children to no end, this guy did this to his family. It's no words. So many things we've seen here lately with Faye, the little 6-year-old, these children being burned alive. It's just unfathomable that these people can do this to their children. I don't know. And not to change the subject, but before I forget, if you don't mind, hit the like button or the dislike button. Either one helps me. So if you like it, hit it.
But before I forget, if you
don't
don't
like it, there I'm
hit the
talking, double talking. Hit the like or hit the dislike. Either one you want to do. Just let me know how you feel. It also lets YouTube know how you feel. And it's a free way to support my channel. And I appreciate it very much. Hello, Donna. How are you? What's up, Full On Drama? How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Leanne Piper says he couldn't handle the breakup. If he couldn't have them, no one could. It makes you wonder, was there an affair going on either side? Was the wife seeing somebody else? Was the husband seeing another woman? We don't have all the facts. It happened, full on drama in Brisbane, Australia. A husband and wife had separated. They were going through a custody dispute, and the husband showed up on the scene, doused the car with gasoline, set it on fire, burning all 3 of his children to death. His wife was burned significantly. She passed away a day later, and he then ran to his car, grabbed a knife, and stabbed himself in the chest. Angelina, the only other person I heard of being there was the person that was trying to help the children out, and they said that the father was stopping the people from saving his children. Hey, Braun, my hubby loves you. Says it's the only time I'm not nagging him. LOL. I'll tell him he's welcome. I appreciate that. Tell him. From the story and what I've read about this, it appears that there was other males on the scene, but they were there to try to put the car out. There was one that had a water hose and a bucket of water because he had been washing his car. Now, I don't know this scientifically or anything, but I've always heard that it's not a good idea to use water on a gasoline fire. Alicia Ann says she thinks the combo of supplements and CTE get a lot of these people. But the thing about this was, and I'm not saying he couldn't have it, but he was, fairly young. Of course, I guess a lot of the football players are fairly young when they get this CTE because, a lot of football players don't make it to the age of 40 because the game is just such a rough game on their body. It just takes such a heavy toll. Tom Brady, the quarterback for the New England Patriots, he's going to be like 43 years old, and he's still going like a young man. He defies everything that we've ever learned about football players. Now, referencing back to watching Zav Girl earlier, someone messaged me. I didn't see a lot of it. I just pretty much caught the end of it. Someone messaged me and said, watch Zav Girl, what's going on it right now. I did. There was Zav Girl, Shelligant, and there was 2 Amandas. And there was some kind of messages being said. I couldn't make out anything, but other people were saying, the person was saying, help me, and a couple other things. Hey, Bron, when my mom visited a couple months ago, she would hear me listening to you and liked your voice. LOL, I think she was crushing on you. She's 84. Well, tell her I said, what's up? That's my mom will be 84 this year. Angelina says there was only supposed to be one Amanda. Yeah, that was I was watching that, and it was just really odd how all that played out. I'm actually going to go back and watch the whole thing, Angelina, and see what happened from beginning to end. Like I said, I just caught pretty much the very end of it. It sounded like a spirit box, but no one had one. And did she add to? I use the same program she does, the StreamYard, and I know that when you put guests up on the screen like that, you have to actually send them a link and add them. Are you telling me that she didn't send a second Amanda a link and add that Amanda? That Amanda just popped up on the screen? Because if that's the case, that's really odd. I wouldn't even know how that would happen. She still asks about you. I tell her what you said. She'll get all excited. Well, thank you, full on. I'm glad I could help your mom out a little bit. Well, Elysian, the difference between the steroid shot you get from the doctor and these people that weight lift, they take a lot more than what the doctor gives you in the hip, and they also take it regularly. A lot of them also use what's called human growth hormone, which it does exactly what it says. It's human growth. It's going to give you muscle mass, and it works really quickly. When we just think about all the stuff we've witnessed here lately, Watts, this, just when you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse. When I seen this post on my True Crime Files page today and I read it, I was just in awe of what I was reading, how any father could do this. It would be one thing, okay, if he, to the point was in rage and he killed his wife. I can see in the heat of the moment you're mad how that could happen, but your own children, and I'm not talking about setting her on fire or anything like that, just in the heat of the moment, if you shoot her or you cut her or something like that. But to kill your own flesh and blood, your children, the people that you're supposed to protect to the end of time, guys, I just don't have any words. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about it? I've been reading your comments. Yeah, Elysian, a steroid shot hurts really bad. The reason being they shoot it into the fatty part of your butt cheek, And the steroid shot is really a thick liquid. So it hurts. It's going in, and where it's thick, it takes a lot, several seconds for them to get that full amount of this liquid in. Antoinette, this happened in Brisbane, Australia. And Don Brake says something I thought of earlier. How does the burning, the heat, the screams, the smell, the pain, how does that not snap you out of it and make you not do everything to save instead of still want them to die? That's a question I can't answer, and it's something I thought about earlier myself. The smell of everyone smelled burning hair before, and even burning flesh sometimes, and smelling that, knowing it's your children and your wife that you're doing this to. I mean, hell, no wonder he wanted a divorce. She wanted a divorce from him. I mean, if he was capable of doing this, he was capable of doing anything. Full On Drama says it doesn't sound like he ever bonded with his kids. It really doesn't. A lot of time these professional athletes like this, I've wondered this many times, where they're away from home on the road a lot, playing these games in other cities, other states. Does that play a role in with the bonding of the children? The mother's there with them all the time, blah, blah, blah. But then a man that's a professional athlete, he's not there a lot. Could that play a role in bonding with the children, or he didn't bond, the way most fathers do that are there? They go to work in the morning, they come home in the evening, they see their children every night. They actually bond with their children. But when a professional athlete's not there for several days, weeks at a time, could that play a role? It's just a question I'm throwing out there. I don't know. Alicia, Aaron Hernandez had it made, played, college football, he just signed a great big new contract with the Patriots. He was a heck of a player, and it's almost like he just had some sort of thug life in him that he just couldn't let go of. Okay, B. Shelley, okay, good night, and I hope your pain goes away. Have a good sleep. Thank you for coming on tonight, joining us. Blair, I agree. I just, I'm in shock over this one. Christy May says she was an OR nurse for 10 years. Often a cauterizing instrument is used. The smells is very strong and distinct. Yeah, I've smelled burning flesh before, because I actually used to weld, and sometimes those, a lot of people think they're sparks when you're welding. Those are actually hot pieces of liquid metal flying through the air. It's not like when you use a grinder and you get the small sparks. When you're welding and you see those large sparks flying, that is actually pieces of hot liquid metal. And if one of those lands on your arm and you can't get it off, you will smell your own flesh burning. And it is a very distinct smell. You'll also burn the hair on your arm when you do that, which is also a very distinct smell. And that's just a small, small place on your arm that would give us in. I couldn't imagine the smell of 3 bodies, and 3 bodies with hair, and 3 bodies burning. It's just, and knowing it's your own kids. I mean, Jesus Christ. Alicia, when they give you that shot, the steroid shot in the hip, the reason they give you that shot is it speeds up the antibiotics they have given you. It makes them work quicker, is what my doctor told me. Hello, Nicole R. Howdy. How are you tonight? 5 bodies total. You had the husband, the wife, and the 3 children. That's a good question, Eyes Are Blue. They think that possibly the first time they searched the house, she might have still been alive. And, that would be a hard thing for the police to come to grips with. Yes, Nicole R. Yeah, Larry, you're right. 4 bodies on fire, and then he stabbed himself in the chest. Thank you, Mikey B. Appreciate that. My first super chat in 3 shows, I believe. But thank you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. No news on Christy May. I haven't heard any news on Gannon whatsoever. The last I heard with Gannon was, and there could be new news out there that I haven't heard, because basically I read up on this case before I came on. But the last thing I heard with Gannon is that they was sifting through the snow and the top layer of dirt right below the snow. What for is still not very clear from what I understand. And I understand where they was doing this. They had to shut down like one lane of traffic, and it was causing a traffic backup. Braun Moxley, you ain't kidding. I couldn't feel my left butt cheek for 5 hours and could hardly walk. A steroid shot is very painful. It'll almost make a knot under your skin. Hello, Penny Sue. Welcome to joining us late. Welcome. Welsh lady said, I was emotionally abused by my ex-husband for 17 years. Things got so much worse after I divorced him. I went to the police about it 10 times about him, and they took no notice. When she said that reminded me, did you guys see where, who Drew Carey is? He hosts the Price is Right Now. His ex-fiance was killed, I believe, over the weekend, maybe Friday, I believe, by an ex-boyfriend. She had actually had a restraining order against him, and it had just expired. And I guess right after it expired, he went in and murdered her. They had a 911 call of screams coming from the place where she lived. And when the police got there, they had found her. She had believed she had been thrown from the 3rd-story balcony. She was laying on the ground beneath the balcony. And they believe that the ex-boyfriend that the restraining order she had on him had just expired, done it. Some of her friends said that recently she had talked about meeting him again. I don't know if they met for coffee or something like that. And then she also told her friends that she was now in fear again. I don't understand what would make a woman that was in a relationship that where it was abusive and you have to have a restraining order. I mean, why would you go back to that? If it didn't work the first time, chances are it's not going to work the second time. And then now she ends up dead. And she was some sort of sexual counselor. They said she was a no bullshit woman who was very passionate about her job. I can't think of her name right now, but she was the ex-fiance of Drew Carey. They were only engaged for just a few months in 2018. And of course, he's the host of the Price is Right, which has nothing to do with the case we were talking about. Just something somebody said jogged my memory on that. Guys, if any of you tonight are in an abusive relationship, you're not happy, get out of that relationship, separate. If you have to get a restraining order, do it. But there's no need to live in an abusive relationship that's full of fear. There's no sense in that whatsoever. So anyone that's in that tonight, take my advice tonight. You see what can happen when it goes to the extreme. In this case we're talking about tonight is to me, it couldn't get any more extreme than this. Angelina says, "Get out!" When she screams, "Get out!" before you cannot. So true. There's places you can go. There's people that will help you. There is resources out there for you. You can go. What about the man's body they found? Yeah, what guys? I heard that they had found an adult male body in Colorado, but I didn't hear much else about it. It amazes me that they think a piece of paper will keep a killer away. Laws are easier on a man to beat a woman he slept with than a stranger. Apparently, that makes you property. I agree. Of course, some people say I agree with everything you guys say. That's not true. Sometimes I disagree, and I always give you a reason that I disagree. Christy May says they emotionally deplete and isolate women. The women's self-esteem is often nothing. It makes it harder for a woman to leave, and the men know it. It's why they do it. I talked to a girl one time who was in an abusive relationship, and she told me that this man she was with told her every day of her life that nobody loved her but him. Thank you, Bo Duke. I like that name. Bo Duke. Bo Duke just gave $10 in super chat. Yeah. Let's go jump a railroad track or something. Appreciate that, Bo. But she told me that her, boyfriend, whatever they was, he told her every day that nobody loved her but him, not even her mom, no one. Everyone was lying to her except him. And she told me that after you hear that after so long, you start to believe it. She said she would not leave because she, honest to God, felt like he was the only person in the world who loved her. And on the outside looking in, I couldn't understand that. But she, looked me straight in the eyes and said, it's unbelievable how when someone tells you something every day of your life, how you eventually come to believe it. And that's why for the longest time she didn't leave, because she thought no one else in the world cared about her but him. But yet he was mentally controlling. She said that he wasn't physically abusive except for one time. She said one time he slapped her in the face. Now that's the only time he was physically abusive. But she said he was always more emotionally, verbally abusive to her. And this girl I'm talking about was beautiful. 100 men, and she was sweet, had a great attitude. 100 men would love to have a date with this girl, to go out with her, and probably treat her really well. But yet she's in this relationship that she can't leave because she's been mentally beat down. Now, curious Kimmy, the Stockholm Syndrome. Nobody loves you but me. Nobody loves you like they do. So I just, wow. And like I said, I've never been in a relationship where someone's told me that, to the point where I think, no, Leanne, thank you. Hope you watched the replay. Appreciate it. Des Harris says there are absolutely no news in Gannon's case today. They ended the searches. They said they're stopping the searches due to where they are in the investigation. So to me, that sounds like maybe they possibly, know something specific that they're not releasing to the public. Ladies, it's to say this, and men too. There's men that can be in an abusive relationship. We sit here and always talk about women being in abusive relationships, but there can be men in abusive relationships too. I have seen that. But if you have to, arm yourself. Get a gun. If you don't know how to use it, learn how to use it. Go to a shooting range. Get where you're comfortable with this gun, because a piece of paper is just that. It's only a piece of paper. If this man or woman are out to kill you, they're not going to care about this piece of paper. So arm yourself, learn how to use it, and if you have to, you know, you hope. Yeah, Des Harris, I would say that what a guy says, mental abuse is very traumatic. It affects, yeah, when you're mentally depleted. I don't know if you guys, any of you, I'm sure a lot of you talk about depression and anxiety and stuff, but in times in your life when you're in depression, it's a mental illness. But how many times have you been in depression where you just absolutely couldn't get up out of the bed physically? I've been there a couple times where it's just like, what's there to get up for? So mental issues can turn into physical issues of 100%. Angelina says, I was trapped by my husband, and by that I mean financially, and more important, with my children. We all feared him. Now I see how wussy he was. What a poor excuse for a man. You know, that's another thing. And I'm not saying this is what your issue was, Angelina, but there's a lot of women out there that don't work. They've been a housewife. The man's made every penny, or he brought all the money to the relationship. And, after a while, the wife fears leaving, that she won't have no way to support herself. He's got the money. He'll be able to take me to court, take my children. You can be controlled mentally, financially, physically. There is so many forms of abuse that someone can control someone with. And let me just say this as a disclaimer, guys. I'm not a mental health professional whatsoever. I'm just giving you my point of views on things and my opinions and things I've went through in my life. And if that helps somebody, then good. But in no way do I represent myself as any kind of mental health professional. And I always, don't take my advice, my experience and opinions as advice. Always see a mental health professional or a doctor. But anyway, guys, I wasn't planning on staying tonight, but about 30 minutes, and it's an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and head off here. I appreciate the super chats I got tonight, and I appreciate all you guys spending your evening a little bit with me. I was a little bit later tonight than I usually am, but hey, I got on. That's what matters, right? And if you don't care, before you leave, hit that like button or even hit the dislike button. Either one you want to do, just let me know one way or the other. It helps me out. It's a free way to support my channel. And I thank you guys so much. If we have anything news breaking tonight with Gannon or anything like that anytime, I'll always come on live. If I get up and see an update on my phone or anything like that, I'll come on live for anything. And if not, I'll try my best to be on tomorrow night. A lot of time, real life dictates whether I can come on or not. So just look out for me. I usually try to come on around 7:30. I know a lot of you are not getting the notifications you guys are telling me. Apparently, it's a YouTube problem that is YouTube wide. It's not just me. It's several channels, maybe all channels. But anyways, hit the like button. Thank you guys. I hope to see you tomorrow night. If there's anything breaking, I'll come on live. Good night, Larry. Good night, everybody. Good night, Dawn. I'm just saying everybody that's on the screen right now, but everybody, good night. Love you guys, and I will see you soon.